What is the best neighborhood in Oakville? If you're somebody who's looking to move into Oakville, this may be a question that you are pondering. But what really makes the neighborhood great and what makes the neighborhood something that you want to kind of stay away from? If you're new here, my name is Neil. I am a 20-year real estate broker. I help people buy and sell real estate in Oakville. I live and work here. I've been in Oakville since 1987. So I've been here a long time. I know a lot about Oakville and love helping people and families navigate the Oakville real estate market. So if you're somebody who's trying to kind of figure out, what's the best neighborhood to live in, here's some insight from a veteran in the real estate space. So let's look at this from a few different angles. I want to look at this first off with regards to young families. What's the best neighborhood for young families? This can differ according to, different opinions, but let's take a look at the data, what the data says first, and then I'll give you my opinion. So if we look here, this is the Toronto Real Estate Board. This is how we search listings. And if we look at Halton and Oakville, and if we look at just at the neighborhoods that you can select from, you've got Brontë Creek, Brontë, Central, College Park, Clearview, Falgarwood, Ford, Glenabbey, and the list goes on. It really doesn't give you much other than just words. So what actually makes a good neighborhood? And if you're somebody who's looking to move to Oakville, what should you consider if you are looking for a neighborhood for young families? So let's ignore price for right now, and let's just get into straight neighborhoods. So a neighborhood that I would say first would be Wedgewood Creek. Okay, so Wedgewood Creek. Wedgewood Creek is located in the northeast quadrant of Oakville. It's adjacent to Joshua Creek and it's south of Dundas. So, what makes this a good neighborhood for families? Well, first off, the neighborhood is about 40 years old. It's seen turnover from the original owners. Now, there are second and third owners that are moving into that area, and often with younger families that are moving into that area. So, what's the draw, right? The draw to an area like Wedgewood Creek is proximity to the GO train station. The GO train station is not far. You really would, depending upon what route you take, you could go down all the way down Grand Boulevard, turn left on 8th Line, right on Iroquois Shore, left on Trafalgar, right on Cross, right? I know Oakville well, as you can tell, to get to the GO train station. So it's not terribly, terribly far. It is close to Mississauga. So it's, again, in the northeast quadrant, south of Dundas. So you're close to Mississauga. You're on the east side of Oakville, so you're closer to Toronto versus if you're all the way on the west side of Oakville, which would be places like Brontë, which leads me to my next neighborhood that is good for families, and that is Brontë. So Brontë is situated on the kind of the southwest quadrant of Oakville. It borders Burlington, right? So you're very close to Burlington. Price point relative to the rest of Oakville, Brontë has experienced, massive regentrification, revitalization over recent years. It's a neighborhood really that is picking up in popularity a lot. Like there's condo development happening there. In Brontë, there's a lot of seniors that live. You're right at the lake. It's really a hip happening neighborhood now versus if you go back in time many, many, many years, nobody wanted to move to Brontë. Nobody wanted to live in Brontë. Again, it's a classic story of real estate regentrification and really a neighborhood that is very appealing, right? You have a lot of custom built homes, again, condo development. It's a cool place where people want to be, right? Is it the most affordable neighborhood in Oakville? No. But it's definitely a neighborhood that is great for families. There's parks, you're by the lake. It's a fun place to be if you have younger kids. So Brontë is a neighborhood to consider. So best for commuters. This one is pretty easy for me. Like when I look at this and when you look at Oakville, and if you're just to make a decision on what is the best place for commuters, College Park is undeniable. College Park is undeniable because it's in central Oakville, right? If you look at College Park, let's bring up College Park here on our little map. I think it'll show our map. Yeah, I think it does. No, let's see if it shows us a map. If it does, great. If not, it's fine. Okay, cool. Yeah. So it shows us a map here of College Park. So College Park is very central within Oakville, as you can see. Glen Abbey is to the west of it here. And then we have, essentially Falgarwood here, Wedgewood Creek on this side. But what's cool about College Park is it's very close to the GO train station. Many residents would just hop on Trafalgar Road and just zoom down Trafalgar to get to the GO train station located on Cross Avenue. So definitely a very, very central area. I would say that's undeniable. I could put, second and third neighborhoods in here, but I'm just extending the list kind of really for no reason. So I would say College Park for sure, hands down, is the best for commuters, no question, when you look at where College Park is situated relative to where else you can be in Oakville. Let's not forget there's a Brontë GO train station, right? So if we're going down that topic as well, you could be in Westmount, you could be in West Oak Trails, you could be in Glen Abbey, and then you would basically take third line down to Wycroft and you would hit the Brontë GO train station. But again, like I'm saying, if I'm just to give you one clear winner in terms of best for commuters, it would be College Park. Best value, let's put College Park here again. College Park comes on this list a couple of times because the prices in College Park have trended uh, behind a lot of different areas in Oakville. So there's a lot of value in College Park. You can get big lots. You can get smaller homes, detached homes. You can get semi-detached homes. College Park is close to Sheridan College. So you can get properties that you could rent out and have Sheridan students living in them. So there's a lot of versatility to College Park, and it definitely ranks without question in my mind for best value. Can arguments be made for different areas? Of course they can. So best for luxury, no question, is Southeast Oakville. I put SE here for Southeast Oakville. Southeast Oakville, definitely, the most prestigious part of Oakville. It's where you kind of drive down, you park your car in downtown Oakville, you go for a walk, and you walk by all these really cool houses right next to the lake. It's definitely the highest priced area in Oakville. It's by the lake. It's a great area, right? So definitely for luxury, I would say College Park, sorry, not College Park, Southeast Oakville for sure. College Park is quite away from Southeast Oakville, but Southeast Oakville 100% when it comes to luxury, when it comes to prestige, when it comes to just the actual, visual appeal of looking at these homes. People park their car, they walk by the lake all the time just to kind of, stare at these awesome, awesome homes in Southeast Oakville. So best for schools, I'm going to say all neighborhoods. That's not a cop out. That's the actual truth. In another video that I was recording, I was talking a lot about schools in Oakville. And the reality is that, Oakville has been unique for a long period of time. And one of the factors that makes Oakville a really desirable community where people want to come is the fact that the schools here are very, very good. There's not a particular neighborhood or area that you have to avoid, that is like super dangerous. It's a community that has had good schools for a long period of time. Are there some outliers historically when you go back over the years, 20 years? Sure, of course, there were outliers, but I'm talking about now in the current day. At the time of recording this, we're 2026, the summer of 2026. So when I look at Oakville on the whole, and when I look at schools, is there a bad area? Is there a bad catchment area you can be in the school district? The answer to that is no. People not from Oakville may not understand that. They may not know that. And I see that a lot with regards to people feeling that they need to put their kids into private school. That's a whole different video. That's a whole different conversation. Private school versus public school. But from a best schools point of view, what is the best neighborhood? All neighborhoods in Oakville have good schools. There are no concerns. There are no major issues at all, really. And that's, one of the great things about Oakville and the uniqueness of the community, where schools rank very, very good. And then, so best for investment. So this is an interesting one. So I'm going to cop out a little bit here. I'm going to put two areas. I'm going to say condos, and then again, I'm going to say College Park. Okay. So kind of a weird answer, but I'll explain why. So again, we're in a buyer's market, if you haven't heard. And there are a lot of condos for sale right now. So if we take just a quick little peek on the inventory here, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to pull up condos right now in Oakville, and I'm going to show you exactly how many there are and kind of my thoughts regarding my answer of giving condos and College Park. So basically, I did a search and I put in the search filter up to 100,000. The reason for that is I don't want to include any parking spots and any lockers. So as I do that, there's 326 resale condos available in Oakville. The cheapest being a one bedroom for 349,000. And this one has a parking spot as well. I was showing a client this earlier yesterday, actually. So a one bedroom for 349 with a parking spot, and they're not holding offers. So when you run the numbers on this, which I've already done for a client, you're pretty much break even, like you're negative $100 cash flow. If you factor in your mortgage principal pay down, you're break even, right? So when you look at it from an investment point of view, there are opportunities within condos, and there'll be increasingly opportunities within condos with regards to investment, right? Again, are condos a good investment? Are condos not a good investment? I'm not going to get into that topic because I could do like a 12-hour video on that. But rather, when we're answering this question and we're strictly looking at where's the best investment neighborhoods, I would say condos, because there's opportunity not on all of them, but on select ones where you can buy it at a certain purchase price and rent it out such that you're either break even or you're just a little bit negative cash flow, and you're able to hold that condo for the long term, given that prices are, some say, close to the bottom. We're at the bottom. But the long story short is condos, there's opportunity for investment. And again, not all of them. You have to be selective. You have to know your numbers. You need to pick them well. Also, for investment, I put College Park in here as well. And kind of twofold, right? I put College Park because I feel that it's the best value. Like I said here for number 3, College Park has a lot of room to move up in price. We see so many lots down College Park where people are buying the home, they're knocking down the home, they're putting up a custom built home. So they're really increasing the value of the lots tremendously. So from an investment play for people that have a lot of capital to deploy, you can see some big returns here. Are we going to see situations in the future where we're going to see lots that are severed, right? Big lots that are severed, and then maybe 2 properties built? Are we going to see situations where we see bigger lots that are purchased and maybe some townhomes that are put on? I see that happening down the road for sure. When I look at the growth, and yes, there's red tape always with the town and getting things approved, but where we are right now in kind of like the housing situation and the housing crisis that we're in, it's on both ends, right? And again, housing crisis is a whole separate video. But when I look at opportunity and value, College Park hits that for sure. And then when you just look strictly at, classic rental properties, right? If we just look at classic rental properties for College Park and we just pull up here, I'm going to pull up semi-detached properties. So semi-detached properties for like the classic real estate investor that wants to purchase something and just kind of rent it out. What does that look like for them? And I will show you. So when we look at semi-detached and we look at College Park, you've got a couple. You've got one on Red Bank here for $930. You've got one here on Palatine for $1,089,000. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath. So I would say anything with 2 units is opportunity because of the proximity to Sheridan College. This one here, I looked at this one previously. I don't believe this one has 2 units, so I would not rank this one high in my books in terms of good investment potential, but rather something similar to this that has 2 separate units where you could potentially rent out the bottom or rent out both units. And again, proximity to Sheridan College is very close. This is where I see opportunity for investors that just want to buy classic rental properties and just rent them out for the long term. So what is the best neighborhood in Oakville? There are many. It depends upon what you're looking for. It varies depending upon whether you have young families, if you're just looking for a good commute, if you're looking for value or on the luxury side, or from a schooling point of view and an investment point of view. There are many neighborhoods in Oakville, and these different neighborhoods fit different criteria that people are looking for. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out anytime. I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.